Hello, good people of YouTube. Mountbatten here. And today, before we get into the DevBlog portion of this video, just want to give you guys a massive thank you. Because yesterday, upon my return from work, I sat down to record this video, got a couple of Discord notifications, and well, we crossed 40,000 subscribers, which is absolutely awesome, guys. I cannot thank you guys enough for that. I know I say that a lot, but I mean it, and I don't know what else to say because I cannot thank you enough for supporting the channel, watching the videos, and allowing me to do what I am able to do. It is awesome. You guys are awesome, and as a thank you to you guys being awesome, we are doing a 40k giveaway just like we do with all the major milestones. Those of you that have been here for a while, you guys should know how this works. Monday's video will be the announcement of the giveaway officially starting. You guys will post a witty comment in the comment section of that video. We'll have a bot select one winner each day of the week, and that winner, which has to be a subscribed comment to make sure it's going to one of you guys, will have their choice of a tier 5 to tier 9 premium ship, any premium ship that I can purchase in the store, and we'll get that to you, and we'll do that for, well, the announcement will be next week. The video will be up with entries being accepted from Monday of that week through Monday of the next week, and we'll start the giveaways on the Tuesday, the day after the entry period closes for new comments being entered into the giveaway. So again, you guys that have been here for some time should know exactly how this works. And again, thank you guys. You guys are awesome. It's crazy that I'm able to do this, and it's all because of you guys. And on to the DevBlog on a much different note. Soviet submarines are indeed coming soon, TM. So, yep. In a rather unceremonious announcement, I don't think they were streaming when this went up. It's also kind of odd. Most of these big announcements are done on Wednesday during the community stream. They just flipped this up here in the DevBlog today, apparently. I don't think there was a stream going on today. I mean, I was at work all day, so I might have missed it, but it's kind of off of their normal schedule if it was. Soviet submarines, ladies and gentlemen, via the DevBlog. Link to this will be in the description down below. I will be reading straight from the DevBlog and read a section, give you guys my 2 cents on that section, and then we'll go through it like that. I will throw up any relevant images or artwork as we go through it. So let's go ahead and dive right on in, pun absolutely intended. So they state, Soviet submarines close testing 11.10. Close testing of researchable Soviet submarines S1, L20, and K1 will begin at update 11.10. I want to dig into the Soviet submarine naming system, because did they just go letters of the alphabet for the class, and then the number was the ship's hull number? That's, I mean, well, no, because K119, and I don't think K119 is the same class as the K1 here. But anyway, they state the main role of the new branch in battle is to counter other submarines. That's interesting. Soviet submarines' torpedoes have low damage and long reload time, but good range and speed. The number of loaders allows only part of the bow and stern torpedo tubes to be reloaded simultaneously, similar to how it works in the American subs. These torpedoes' characteristics do not allow for high damage per torpedo salvo, so they are less effective against targets with good torpedo protection and good HP pools. Okay. In addition to torpedoes, all submarines in the branch have a player-controlled main battery. Okay. It has a low range and number of guns, so it is most often used in combat with other submarines or with ships that have low remaining hit points. Only sap shells are available. The new submarines have an average dive capacity and low recharge rate. They also have a mediocre concealment, which is compensated for by a good speed on the surface. The consumables of the new submarines are represented by the standard submarine damage con, with a limited number of charges and hydrophone. The submarine surveillance consumable is also present with special settings. It has a longer range and shorter preparation time, but its action time is reduced. Please note that these settings are preliminary and may change multiple times during testing. Okay, on the surface, it sounds like a decent idea. A submarine class, well, submarine line that's meant to go after other submarines, and, well, it's low damage torpedoes, but good speed, and they say good range. Low damage and long reload time. Okay, but good speed and good range. Okay, so we'll see once we get down into it how much damage they actually do. But again, the concept of submarines specifically designed to fight other submarines isn't a bad idea in my mind. However, how are they gonna find them? Because we don't have the ability to detect other submarines under the surface except for the hydrophone, which has a short action time according to the DevBlog here. Because they took away submarine proximity detection. And I guess, if someone's got a hydro going or something like that and they're right on top of them, sure. But, okay, maybe it's like you're supposed to force them to the surface and then duel them with your guns. Because they don't have any player-controlled guns, but... Alright. Well, let's see what they say. Soviet Submarine S1 Tier 6. Series 9 medium-type submarine intended for operating in oceanic conditions. It had a fairly powerful armament for its size, which included 6 torpedo tubes, 4 in the bow and 2 in the stern. Now, the torpedo tubes, they do only reload, I'm guessing, they say similar to the Americans, so I'm guessing it's 1 at a time, or maybe 2 at a time. So that'll help cut back on some torpedo spam that we've been getting with the other submarines like the Germans and the I-56. The I-56 is a very torpedo spammy submarine, but its homing torpedoes are trash, so you're just like a funny DD with the I-56. Okay, Soviet Submarine L-20 Tier 8. Part of the latest series of Linnet types of underwater mine layers, Series 1338, sporting 8 torpedo tubes, underwater mine, so it's a mine layer. They made it into a submarine. 8 torpedo tubes, I'm assuming, probably 6 in the front, 2 in the back, or 4 in the front, 4 in the back. And it looks like it's got 1 deck gun on there as well. Soviet Submarine K1 Tier 10. This bad boy's got 2 of them on there. Man, that's a big sub. Oh yeah, a large cruiser type submarine belonging to Series 14. It was designed for engaging in joint operations with surface ships, as well as for long-range commerce raiding. It was armed with 10 torpedo tubes and could achieve a high surface speed. Okay, so let's take a look at their stats now. So the S1 Tier 6 has 11,500 hit points, 16 millimeters of plating, 210 dive units, 1 unit per second is its burn time. It regens 0.8 units per second. So you have 1x1 100mm gun with a 6 kilometer range. The sap damage is 2200. That's maximum, so that means if you somehow citadel something with sap, which you can't do with a 100mm gun, unless it's like, I don't know. I don't think you can citadel the Emerald with that. Sap shell armor penetration, 29mm a pin. 84 meters a second. Initial velocity, reload time of 5 seconds. That's pretty long. 180 time of 18 seconds, maximum dispersion 60 meters, sigma of 2.0. So yeah, definitely a gun that's meant to finish something off that's got maybe, 2,000 HP left, because again, you're 2,200, that's maximum damage. So that's if you somehow citadel the thing, but you're not going to be able to do. Plus the 5-second reload time too, and you only having 11,000 HP at Tier 6. Yeah, I definitely wouldn't want to get in a fight with something with actual guns, Alright, so let's see. The torpedo tubes, 6x1, 533s. Maximum damage, 5,167. That is pretty low. 7 kilometer range. 75 knot top speed. 42-second reload time. And that's the guided torpedo. The alternative, the dummy-fired ones, 8,367. Range of 10 kilometers, 62 knot speed. Reloads in 42 seconds as well. So, number of stern torpedo tube loaders is 1. Number of bow torpedo tube loaders is 2. So, in the case of the S1, so she's got 4 in the bow, 2 in the stern. So, you have 2 torpedo tubes loading at a time on the stern. So, basically, like one side will get loaded first, then the other side will get loaded. And in the back, same thing. You have one of the tubes get loaded at one time, the other tube loaded at the time after that one has been loaded. Maximum speed on the surface is 31 knots. Whew, that's booking it. Maximum submerged speed is 15 knots, which is concealment, though, because they said they had bad medium concealment. Surface detectability, 6 kilometers. So, yeah, at Tier 6, I'd say that's still pretty stealthy by Tier 6 standards, because you can throw the commander skill on there and get that down to, 5.4-ish? So, I mean, Tier 6, that's still pretty good. But typically when you get to higher tiers, when the submarine detection starts to become more in line. All right, so the L-20, the Tier 8, 14,500 hit points, 19mm plating, 240 dive units, 1 unit per second burn time, zero point 0.8 units recharge rate. And she too has a 100mm gun, 1x1, 6km range. Same thing, 2200 maximum sap damage, 29mm of pin, and a 5-second reload time. So no boost in the gun power from the Tier 6 to the Tier 8. So yeah, again, and especially at Tier 8, you really don't want to get in a gunfight with anything with actual guns at Tier 8 with a 5-second reload time. That's pretty bad. Alright, so torpedo tubes, 8x1 533s, maximum damage 5167, 9km range for the homing ones, 75 knot top speed for the homing ones, 42-second reload time. And for the alternative torps, you have 9,867 maximum damage. So again, these are the dummy fired torpedoes. 11km range, 65 knot speed, again 42-second reload time. And again, with the L-20, you have 2 bow loaders and 1 stern loader. And the L-20 has... Okay, it says 8 torp tubes. Does it give it here where the torpedo tubes are at? They don't. I'm going to assume 6 on the bow, 2 on the stern. Unless for some reason they did an even 4-4 split with this class. But again, not knowing exactly what this class is. Actually, let's do a quick Google search, shall we? Okay, yeah. It's got 6 in the front and then 2 in the back. And then the... Oh, wait. What's its top speed before we move on to the Tier 10? 28 knots. Oh, wow. So it's slower than the Tier 6? Okay. 28 knots maximum speed. Submerged speed of 14 knots. That is dead slow. And it's the surface detectability 6 kilometers, same as the Tier 6. Okay, that's interesting. And now the K1, the Tier 10, 19,000 hit points. That's less hit points than the I-56, by the way. 19mm plating, 250 dive units. Again, 1 unit depletes, 0.8 units per second is its recharge rate. 1 unit per second depletion rate. 0.8 units per second recharge rate. That's how I'm supposed to say that, ain't it? And let's see. So she gets 2 of the 100mm guns, 6km range. Again, same shell characteristics: 2200, 29mm sat pin, 5-second reload time. But you do get 2 guns, so you do have double the firepower. So again, with that 5-second reload time, that still is just looking like it's going to be mainly used for finishing off low health surface ships or submarines at surface. Like the I-56, because it has a 1.5-second reload time, it can DACA enough to finish off like a 2k, 3k HP destroyer, but I don't think this is going to be able to do that effectively well. And again, keep in mind that 2200 maximum shell damage is if the sap shell citadels the ship, which it's not going to do. Now, it's still sap, it'll still have decent alpha, but I don't think it's going to have enough punch to be taken on Tier 10 DDs that are at 3, 4, 5k health. Maybe like 1 to 2k, maybe that if it gets to jump on them. Alright, so the torpedoes. So it gets 10x1 533s, and she has 5167 maximum damage on the homing torpedoes. That has been, universal throughout all of the ships. 10km range on those, 78 knot top speed on her torpedoes. They load in 54 seconds. The alternative torps, maximum damage 10,800, 12km range, 69 knot top speed, reloads in 54 seconds. Number of stern torpedo tube loaders 4. Number of bow torpedo tube loaders 6. So, with this one, you have a loader for each torpedo tube. So you don't have to load them in pairs or anything like that. So all these torps get loaded at the same time, a la the I-56. So, okay. That's quite a lot of firepower. Maximum speed, 37 knots. Yo! Now, this is surface speed, but that's really fast. Good lord. Imagine what it's going to be like in that submarine riding the waves. Maximum submerged speed of 18 knots, so that's going to be one of the faster ones submerged. Turning circle radius 680 meters, 6.8 second rudder shift time. And surface detectability 6.1 kilometer, air detectability 2.2. So again, with the... Actually, this has the worst detection out of all of them, because the Tier 8 and the Tier 6 have a 6 kilometer base detect. That's at 6.1. So you'll be able to get that down to, like, what, 5 5 around there-ish. So, okay, those are the Soviet submarines. Honestly, not as crazy as I thought they were going to be. The homing torpedoes, I guess they're going to be good at dealing with submarines with their speed and maneuverability and range. But, again, how are we going to be finding these submarines? Because these ships have a shortened hydrophone. So, submarine surveillance is only lasts for 20 seconds on the Tier 6. On the Tier 8, it lasts for 25 seconds. And on the Tier 10, it only lasts 30 seconds. Now, it does have a 10-kilometer range on the Tier 10, a 9-kilometer range on the Tier 8, and a 7-kilometer range on the Tier 6. So I guess the range might help, but, I mean, 20 seconds, get pinged in the other submarine, you wait 20 seconds to get undetected, and you pop your damage con, and there you go. And then they gotta wait for that to cool down, and it's got a reload time of 80 seconds for the Tier 6, 80 seconds for the Tier 8, and 80 seconds for the Tier 10. So, yeah, not sure that's gonna work. I do appreciate that they're making these guys more submarine hunters, so surface ships can kind of catch a break. But I guess we'll see how they come out. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below about these submarines. I know Soviet bias is always going to be something that is probably going to be in the comments quite a bit. But again, they don't really sound too crazy to me. I mean, the K1 having 2 guns is pretty neat. But again, the reload time is so long that I'm pretty sure I could gun down one in the I-56 quite easily before it even is through like 2/3 of my health, I would imagine. But anyway, guys, let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Hope you guys enjoyed. Again, thank you guys so much for getting us to 40K. That is such an amazing milestone to cross, and I cannot thank you guys enough for that. Hope you all have a wonderful Tuesday. Have a wonderful rest of your week. I hope to catch you guys in the next one.